Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Oracles games. These are some interesting ones, and I've admittedly had these in my head for a while. In fact, I'm going to admit to my embarrassment that there were several things I would say during the Link's Awakening run, which were fact I kept confusing because actually I was referring to the Oracles games. These games are the brainchild of Yoshiki Okamoto. If you don't know who that is, shame on you. Okamoto is one of the legends of gaming, like one of the big legends of gaming. He started off his career at Konami making games like Time Pilot and Gyruss, which you've never heard of, but they kind of started the shoot-'em-up genre. And when I say he made those games, I mean this is early 80s, like 81, 82, 83, because he then transitioned out of Konami early, seeing the trend very early that Konami was not going to be at the head of the curve when it comes to game design, which, if I could be really blunt for a second, is kind of funny with the advantage of hindsight. Then he moved on to Capcom in 1984. Please, once again, think about how freaking long ago that is. So, he has such a storied career that I realized as I was looking at the huge list of games he's worked on and has pushed personally, that I was going to have to, really zoom in the camera a lot and only pick a couple. This guy made Resident Evil. This guy made Street Fighter II, the good one. This guy made Final Fight. He was also the person who took over for Mega Man once Keiji Inafune decided to leave Capcom. He founded an entire second studio who was designed to be a second-party studio. Quick aside, some of you probably don't actually know what that means. There's first-party studios, second-party studios, and third-party studios. First-party studio is obvious. It is a studio that is a part of the actual company. If you hear me refer to Core Nintendo, that's first-party. That's a company owned, purchased, and run by Nintendo in the Nintendo offices. Make sense? Third-party is obvious. If I am Nintendo and I go out to Yura and I say, Yura, please make this game for me, Yura is now a third-party developer. But second-party is kind of the weird one, because second-party developers kind of operate in many ways like a first-party developer, but are not actually specifically owned by the company in question. They just happen to have a lot more access and a lot more direct connection with the company in question. So they also tend to have a lot of strong associations in terms of both culture and literal access to technology and resources. Game Freak, Pokemon, is probably one of the examples of a second-party developer. There's quite a few, though. So he forms a second-party developer, but here's the cool part. This is the kind of thing that I'm not even sure would actually happen nowadays. They're called Flagship. You've probably heard of them. And Flagship was a second-party developer for 3 separate companies at the same time. Have you ever wondered why Capcom, Sega, and Nintendo all had weirdly coinciding stuff and had a lot of crossbreeding in terms of their game design, and had a lot of their games which were coming out on all 3 systems or all 2 systems at the same time or whatever? That was because of Flagship, which was a second-party studio for all 3 studios. They pushed out several Kirby games, Dino Crisis, Resident Evil 2 was done under that particular label, and of course, a bunch of other games I'm not going to go into, but finally and most importantly for our purposes, Oracle Seasons, Oracle of Ages, and Minish Cap were all done by this particular dev team. Oh yeah, fun little anecdote, Flagship actually kept existing after it was finally folded in. Usually when a second-party developer gets canned, that's the end, and those people have to go find new jobs. In this case, they're all just eaten up by the core company. So that's kind of cool. Just a little anecdote. If you are interested in learning a lot about gaming history and game design, again, his name is Yoshiki Okamoto. He has a YouTube channel where he just talks about game design and game history. It's super cool. I highly recommend it. He's actually already planned out his retirement and is spending the last few years of his life just sitting there talking about game design. So again, if you're into that kind of thing, if you're a geek about that, huge recommend. Anyways, forgive me for that. It's just, this is one of the giants of gaming just kind of dipping his toes into the Zelda franchise. I had to talk about him. So, everyone knows the factoid I'm about to share with you. The fact that the Oracles games were originally a trio instead of a duo. What you may not know is everything else. So, it was going to be called the Triforce series, was the original name that was came up. Miyamoto came up with that name. And there was going to be a power game, which was Seasons. There was going to be a wisdom game, which was dealing with paintbrush and magical colors. Talk about that later. And then there was going to be the courage game, and that was all about changing time. What not everyone knows about this is that of those trio, the original intent was to make a proper remake of Zelda 1. Now, this makes sense if you've been paying any kind of attention to me over the last few weeks, because we've actually already covered a game that came out in this era of gaming history, Metroid Zero Mission. Remember, this was the period in which proper remakes were kind of in vogue, and it was starting to really become a big deal. And this was arguably one of the first games to really kick off that particular impetus, because this actually predates the Gen 1 remakes for Pokemon, or Zero Mission itself, or a lot of the other stuff that would come out of the Game Boy or the DS era. So they were like, all right, we're going to take Zelda 1, we're going to touch it up, but we're going to just do it anew. And we're going to put it on the Game Boy because the Game Boy Color is doing great, and we've got this new GBA thing coming soon, which has backwards compatibility. So if we produce it for the Color, we're good. So they started putting this remake together. Funny fact, Zelda 1 never actually got that remake, unless you believe Breath of the Wild is the remake. So the remake started taking more and more shape. Now, this is actually funny. As it started to come into its own, most of the devs started expressing discontent and malcontent with regards to what they were working on. I find this very funny, personally. Not because I disagree with them, quite the contrary, it's so understandable as a creative type, because they wanted to make their own game with blackjack and hookers. They wanted to work on that new Zelda game that everyone in the office was just jotting down notes on, right? I'm not even joking about that. Everyone working on the Zelda 1 remake was just like, oh yeah, and that's a good idea for that new Zelda game. Because remember, this is actually a double pitch. In fact, Okamoto himself reached out to Miyamoto, and the way he got all this stuff greenlit was by saying, if you don't let me make a Zelda 1 remake in my own Zelda game, I'm going to do it anyways, and I'm going to change the names around slightly. Miyamoto capitulated. So they started kind of making this new game off to the side, and bit by bit, the Oracle's trio, it wasn't even called that yet, by the way, started to kind of grow out of the bones of the Zelda 1 remake. Now, Miyamoto was off doing his own thing at this point, pretty much unrelated to any of this, but he was brought in once, because the thing is, they were having some issues. And so he looked at the situation, he looked at the remake, and he said, this is good, but if you want to make new games, honestly, I'm okay with it. I'll smooth it over on the executive side of thing. Go ahead and skip the remake. Just go ahead and make your new games. Miyamoto then came up with a title I've already told you, the Triforce, the Triforce series, that's what he called it, the Triforce series, which was going to be this whole thing, and he came up with the triple game idea. This is insane. This is so ahead of its time. You could probably do this game idea now, but as will very clearly become, as will quickly become apparent to you, this was bonkers advanced for the time. Remember, this is like 2001. So what they were going to do is they're going to produce 3 games, and each game had definitive chapters within it. I believe there were like 2 or 3 major chapters per game. Give or take, something like that. So like you do a couple of dungeons, and then like an event happens, and then it's like at that point you get a password. You could then take that password and play either the second game or the third game. And you're already seeing the complexity. Because the way this would work out was you could play any of the 6 total chapters in any order. Like, you always had to be linearly. You couldn't go back, but, like, you could do 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, and you get the idea, right? I'm explaining this badly, but you could play through these 3 games in whatever order, and, most importantly of all, it would change things. There would be impacts and alterations with regards to how the story would progress and how certain dungeons would play out based on what you did in what order. It would change what your kit was. It would change what quests you could accomplish, stuff like that. This was so crazy. They actually, will I show these? No, because they don't exist. They actually had 11 plus. In fact, sorry, they didn't actually clarify. Over 11 people who were just working on scenario planning and nothing else in order to map this thing out. So this modular amazing game was crazy. And the problem was, it was crazy. It was above and beyond what really could be done at the time. So they did what good developers do, what good managers do. They sat down, they said, okay, this isn't happening. What do we do? So we can absolutely do this type of game concept now, but again, this was 20 years ago. This was over 20 years ago. On the Game Boy Color. So they looked at what they could do, and they looked how it was. Yeah, they started trimming down a lot of the fat. Once again, Miyamoto got involved and actually specifically said, yeah, okay, sure. I got your back. So he attached someone called Hidemaru Fujibayashi. Now, again, that's probably a name that doesn't mean too much to you, and I do apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong. This was one of his first projects ever that he was the head of. So you're probably thinking, why was he assigned to this? Well, Miyamoto has this weird talent, and this is consistently true. He's really, really good at recognizing talent. This is why, when he went over to Retro Studios during the creation of Metroid Prime 1, rather than saying, oh, this is dumb, we should shut it down, he looked at the people there and said, these guys have got some stuff. Let's give them some backing. Let's make a game with these people. And Retro Studios is born. He's good at that. He is consistently good at that. So he brought in this relative newbie named Fujibayashi. And Fujibayashi was both a writer and a director of these games, the Four Swords games, Minish Cap, Phantom Hourglass, Skyward Sword, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom. So he's got some chops, is what I'm trying to say. Most importantly of all, he came in and he did the big hard calls of how do we make this actually happen. The obvious choice was the obvious one that we're dealt with. Cut it down from 3 games to 2. Most of the work had already been done on the color one, of all things. I believe that was Wisdom. So it was the color game and it was the Seasons game, and they hadn't really done much with the time game yet. So most of the time stuff was just baked into ages, and there was just down to the 2 ages instead of the original planned 4. And a lot of the color-based puzzles and color-based stuff was then baked into the game. So cool stuff. Break it down. You can actually see several bones of the story and the gameplay, and I'll try to point out a few as we go. But then, one last little anecdote. Production on this game took so long, and remember, they were developing this alongside the development of the GBA, that they seriously considered going ahead and transitioning to have these be launch titles for the GBA. This is doubly funny because, and I misreported this earlier because, again, I was getting this confused with Link's Awakening. They seriously considered, being like, hey, and it didn't really hurt sales that much, because, GBC came and nobody was really buying the GBA first. But it has been argued several times that if these 2 Zelda games, main Zelda games, came out on the GBA at launch, it might have helped things. Who knows? Either way, that didn't happen. Instead, because the GBA was delayed a little bit, they decided, out of nowhere, to go ahead and just tack on some GBA exclusive content to these games, which you've probably never heard of, because if you're playing this on any form of emulator that isn't a GBA emulator, you cannot access it. That includes the official emulators, like the ones online, or the ones you can get back on the Wii U or the 3DS. Those do not run the GBA emulator, and therefore cannot access the GBA exclusive content. Okay. Let's go and scooch this over here. We'll go ahead and get started with Seasons. As soon as I remember how to restart the game. I'll just do it this way. That was hilarious, Yura. Now, if this looks advanced for the Game Boy, remember, this is really, really, really late in the Game Boy Color's timeline. How different are these games? They are completely different games. They have nothing to do with each other. Oh, I should talk about that too. So, first of all, surprisingly good cutscenes. Look at this. This is the Game Boy Color. This is not the GBA. Also, banger soundtrack for these games, but of course it is. It's Capcom. Yeah, exactly. They really squeezed what the GBC could do for these games. Again, crazy ambitious for the time. So, this is the LTTP link who has been brought in, summoned by the Triforce, which has then sent him off to a distant land where it was recognized that he needed to be helped. Now, this is kind of weird and sort of a nonsense plot until you find out what's actually going on, which I'm not going to spoil for you now. We won't find out that for several days. But either way, there's your intro. Not too shabby, all things considered. Before I move forward, I do want to say one thing. So Spartan said, how different are these games? One of the biggest flaws that this game saved, I don't remember if you're... One of the biggest flaws that this game had to serve when it came out was a lot of people thought this was like Pokemon. If those of you not aware, the Pokemon games aren't really different from each other in any substantial way, and that would be true up until, like, the Switch, I think. Something like that. Because they're just different. They have slightly different dialogue here and there. And they have, you know, a couple of different Pokemon you can catch. And that's kind of it, right? Like, that's the difference between the Pokemon games. So a lot of people see there's these two new Zeldas. They're coming out on the Game Boy. They're called Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons. Clearly, this is just one Zelda game, and you could buy one slightly different version, right? Extremely wrong. These are, and I want to stress this one last time, completely different games. Even though they were supposed to be part of one cohesive thing, and we'll talk about that later. They're different games. I don't know how better to put that. But that marketing did not help some of the initial sales. Now, the good news is that my controller just detached. That's great news. That's what I want in my life, is for my controller just randomly detach from my computer. What the hell are you doing, controller? So, we'll be right back to figure out, why is this disconnected? There it goes. There's probably a loud popping noise at some point. And now it's disconnected. Hello, are you here? There we go. Secrets! Game linking. That popping noise is me plugging in a controller. Sorry. We can game link, which we can't actually do. I shouldn't have even done that. There we go. So you can physically connect the thing, but what's more likely you're going to do... Do it, Mr. Red, do it! Is you're probably going to be more likely to actually have to... it's a digital sound, Tully, not a physical sound. Put in a password, which we don't have yet, so that's fine. We will, of course, call ourselves Lore, as is our recipe. Accept our quest, hero. Trust us, you're needed here. No further explanation needed. The hell? Where are we? What's going on? Oh god. Is this hell? Did we die? Oh, we appear to be okay. There's like a caravan or something. That's weird. Well, we're stuck here, so I guess we'll go the only way we can. So, allow me to complain about one minor thing in this. Din, the woman dancing there, is a non-character. They don't do anything with her. By contrast, I forget which one. I think it's Neiryu. Over in Ages, she's actually a full character. Go figure. You're awake! Please, relax. Join our jovial troupe of performers for a bit. Oh, your eyes have opened. Are you alright? I am Impa, the troupe's cook. Because for some reason, everyone in every area is just named the same. I don't know. It's like, you know how it was? Like, every year someone was named Elizabeth, and then one year everyone was named Hercules. It's the same thing. Din, the dancing girl, found you collapsed in the woods. She's cared for you through your nightmares. Din is a popular dancer. Just seeing her dance raises one's spirits. That's not your spirits. Din always looks so lovely, but she seems smitten with you. I'm jealous. Din has been caring for you since she found you. She's strong-willed, but very kind-hearted. You've awakened. Good. I worried while you slept. You're Lore, right? How do you do, Lore? I am Din. I saw a red flash in the woods, and when I went to see what it was, you were lying there. Mystery surrounds you, Lore. I'm just glad you're better. You'll make out with me. Actually, she does straight up say, will you dance with me? Dance, dance, dance. Yeah, so where's my sword? Who took my sword? Don't be shy, dancing will be fun. Poor Link is like, okay. Notice he's already got the Triforce there, which makes sense, because this is post-LTTP. There's Din in her bodysuit. That was fun. You're a good dancer. It's been some time since I had such fun. Hey, your left hand has a triangle on it. That's a sacred mark in Hyrule. If it's the true symbol, you're a hero with a special fate, Lore. A special fate? Nothing. Let's dance. Yeah, she's already crushing on us, literally. Oh, I know, Talia said. Remember, this game came out after Ocarina, and in fact, I believe Wind Waker was already being planned and worked on at this point in time. I found you, Din, Oracle of Seasons. You hid yourself well, but you cannot escape Onyx, General of Darkness. Here's another thing. So Din barely gets any characterization, and Onyx barely gets any characterization. By contrast, both Neiryu and Neiryu, how do you say her damn name? And Velen, whatever her name is, both get substantially more characterization over in Ages. Probably because Ages was the compilation of two separate games and two scenarios, and thus it makes sense that they had more developed for that. So here we are. Varen, that was the name. Varen. Anyways. So here's Onyx. The whirlwind. Don't worry, he's not actually a whirlwind. We don't have to fight the lightning. We don't have to reap the whirlwind. She's also very well developed. Her boobs are just so small. Get out of my way, boy. Oh. Hi, Evo. So there's what he actually looks like. What do you plan to do with me? As you know, if I imprison the Oracle of Seasons and bury the temple that houses the season spirits, the seasons of Holodrum will be cast into chaos, the bountiful gifts of nature will rot, and all living things will perish. That is the world of darkness I long for. No, Onyx, no. Yeah, see, he's evil. Down, Temple of Seasons. Spring, summer, fall, winter. Fall into chaos! I'd enjoy that, because that's basically the only characterization he gets, like, the whole game. It's currently winter, as you saw by that little thing in the upper left. Laura, are you alright? Actually, I am the nurse of Hyrule's Princess Zelda, and Din's no dancer either. She's actually the Oracle of Seasons, who wields control over the forces of nature. Zelda has mystical powers that told of a curtain of shadow drawing around Din. I was instructed to take her to Hyrule in secret. Zelda gave me this quest, but I've been wounded. I won't be able to travel for some time. I know not why you were lying in the woods, but you and Din were fated to me. If the Triforce on your hand is real, then you may be the hero who will save the world. Please use your power to aid Din. Take my message to the Maku tree or the Waifu tree, if you prefer, in the Guardian of all of Holland. Surely he can help. Thus does the game begin. So there's our map. A little less useful than last time. In fact, I can tell you right now, this map is not going to help anything. I will be quietly honest with you guys. Oh, sorry, it's Ages that has the waifu tree, my bad. I get these two games very, very confused. Probably because I played them at the same time back in the day. And then once again for the Ruminations. This will be my third playthrough. Okay, so, not a bad story. Not a bad intro. We've got some really good brickwork, some really, really good sprite work. We've got some solid music already. But what I really want to talk about is how much these games suck. See, what I remember most about these games... Sorry, I shouldn't be so obvious with my bait. Hitler! Okay, there we go. What I remember most about these games, by a wide margin, is being lost. Now, I don't mean lost in the usual traditional sense. I mean lost in the frustrating sense. I actually talked about this just when we were going through Link's Awakening. The amount of times, you know, I can kind of demonstrate the amount of times that I would have a thing where it's like, okay, I want to go right here. No problem. I'll just go left and up. Nope. Okay, I'll go left and down. Nope. Okay, I'll go left, and then down and then left and up and left and up and right and up and up and right and up and left and down and right and down. Oh, God. And this was just something else entirely. Okay, backtrack through everything I just did. Now what? Let's go this way. Nope. Try this way. Nope. How do I get there? And that's the best, the strongest memory I have of both, or either both Oracle games or one of them. I don't know which one it is. But I would never forget how much of a pain it was just navigating the overworld. Now, I don't know how much of that's true or not. I just wanted to share that because, again, that's the strongest memory I have of this game. Or these games, I should say. So we have nothing. We have no items. We have no nothing. So we're sort of pathetic. So I'm going to talk to this guy. What's up? No matter how much I call her, my precious mittens won't come down. If only I had her favorite treat. Fish! Yeah, we might end up either asking chat for help, please and thank you, or just, you know, pulling up a walkthrough periodically, because, you know. So obviously it's visually different. One of the major components of this game is almost every square of the overworld is different, depending on what season it is. Some of those differences are minor, some of them are drastic and completely change how you can navigate. For example, I couldn't do this if it was not winter, just to name one quick example. And you notice how they tutorialize this very quickly and very easily. So let's talk about the timeline real quick. First, this guy. The seasons are a mess. Winter goes straight into summer. What's going on? It's so confusing. Hey, get used to that, by the way. This is Horon Village. Hey, I've never seen you before. The Maku tree? Oh, head east. What determines the seasons? So later on we do. As we gain access to more and more seasons, which is cool. No, pun intended. But let's talk timeline. So, I hate to constantly... Yeah, no kidding, Jalito. I hate to constantly keep banging on this point over and over. But the core... The Nintendo people... No, the next one's the puzzle one. This is the combat one, Dean. The core people at Nintendo seem to constantly insist that this giant jar of piss that they've given me is actually lemonade. And I know this is going to sound strange, but I don't believe them. I know it's clearly labeled. I understand that. I just don't care. So let me tell you what they say is happening, and then I'll tell you what's actually happening, okay? The official line on this is so stupid, is that you've got... So first of all, this is part of the hero defeated timeline, which is one of the biggest ass pulls in the history of the Zelda timeline, and that's saying something. What that means is that even though all of the time travel rules of Ocarina actually make perfect sense and are self-cohesive, they decided to bullcrap a third method of time travel out of absolutely nowhere and craft this third timeline where Link was like, I'm gonna kill you, Ganondorf. And Ganon was like, no, I kill you, ugh. And then Link was like, oh god, I'm dead. And Ganon's like, that's right, now you dead. Now you give me that $5. And Link's like, no, to my $5. No, I know I'm dead, but don't you open my wallet, it's my wallet. Oh god damn it, he took my $5. So, as a consequence of that, that calls the hero defeated timeline, where Ganon wins. And everyone's like, oh my god, we must seal Ganon away. And they seal Ganon away. And that leads immediately into... Look, there's that. That leads immediately into LTTP. And I want to stress that it has nothing to do with anything and makes no sense. But again, bullcrap. So then LTTP happens, and there's this brand new lore that shows up. Yeah, let's ignore all... It doesn't matter, Ross. It doesn't matter. So then we've got LTTP, and then we've got Link's Awakening. Okay, which is the same Link. And then that's it. That Link is only in those two games. And then a totally separate Link, who has nothing to do with anything, shows up for both Oracle games. And it's a totally different Link who has nothing to do with anything in any direction. Ignore the fact that these games... Let's just ignore reality. Ignore what it was written like. They're just totally on their own. Then there's Link Between Worlds, which is totally on its own. And then Zelda 1 and then Zelda 2. So none of that makes any sense. Let me tell you what's actually happening. LTTP, Oracles... So that's actually 2 games. So LTTP, Oracles, Link's Awakening, Link Between Worlds, 1 and 2. All 7 of these games are actually part of one overall cohesive story arc. It's not the best designed story arc in the world, but it is one story arc. I've explained this several times. The way this works out, LTTP is the origin story. That's the beginning, that's the history, that's the mythos. There was a thief. He was the leader of a band of ambitious and terrible people, including blind. They invaded the Golden Realm, along with everyone else who was trying to force their way in there during a bloody war that was being fought over trying to get in. They got in, he claimed the Triforce, it reflected his wish, Dark World created. LTTP happens, Ganon is defeated, the Triforce is freed. The Triforce then, pretty much immediately after, like not a very long time after, reaches out to Link and says, hold on. 2 of Ganon's minions... Okay, so I'm going to spoil a little bit here, but 2 of Ganon's minions are trying to resurrect Ganon. So you need to go and you need to interrupt that resurrection. He cannot be allowed to claim possession of the Triforce again. This then leads to Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, which can... There's actually a lot of debate about which one happens first. It doesn't matter. They happen back to back one way or the other. Either way, at the end of them, Ganon is partially resurrected. Doesn't go super well. And he ends up getting messed up in the process. And for all intents and purposes, will never be Ganondorf again. From that point on, he is only Ganon. This leads into Link leaving on a ship to go seek further adventure, which leads to Link's Awakening. Some time passes. Link Between Worlds happens after some time has passed. This whole time, things have been relatively at peace, but the events of Link Between Worlds happens. I'm not going to spoil too much there for those who haven't played it. And Ganon is once again partially and inaccurately resurrected. I keep bringing that point up because it's actually relevant. Because not that long after Link Between Worlds, Ganon then finally manages to come back fully. And by fully, I mean broken. He's just a mindless, raving beast at this point. And all he can do is destroy. If this sounds familiar, then it's because you've played Breath of the Wild. So this mindless beast causes mass devastation in Hyrule, levels the entire country, and the only people who are surviving there are his own beasts and monsters, as well as a few scattered remnants and survivors. Then Link shows up. A new Link. Different Link. This is Zelda 1. During Zelda 1, we go through, gather the pieces of the Triforce that Zelda hid, get them all locked away, get access to Ganon, destroy Ganon, and that Ganon is now permanently destroyed. Never comes back from that point onwards. Because that leads then, almost immediately, 6 years later, into Zelda 2. And I've already told you what happens in Zelda 2. We're on an adventure. It's almost like it's in the title. In order to go find the final piece of the Triforce, the Triforce of Courage. The rest of the kingdoms are all starting to recover. Hyrule can then be reclaimed. The two Zeldas are awakened and operational. We have the Triforce. Ganon's gone. Happily ever after. That is the story of most of the 2D Zeldas. This bubble right here, all of these games connect, but they do not connect to any other Zelda. I don't care how you label this jar of piss. These Zelda games do not connect to any other Zelda games. Yes, so across these, we've actually got 3? Hang on, 1... Yeah, I'm right. 3 links across these games. There's the one in LTTP, the Oracles, and then Awakening. There's the one in Link Between Worlds, and then there's the one in 1 and 2. 3 links. We also have 2 Zeldas, if you're paying attention. Excuse me, 3 Zeldas. Sorry, I don't know why I said 2. 3 Zeldas. But only 1 Ganon. Same Ganon in all of them. It goes from hot to cold in a flash. The seasons are in utter chaos. What will it do to this year's harvest? This is the house of the wise know-it-all birds. See them if you have questions. What set them apart? So each of these games was designed to connect with each other. Or... I agree completely, Noses. Let me try to explain this. Let's say, Act, that you sit down... what was the one we just played? Explorers of Sky? Let's say that you want to go ahead and you want to make a game that directly follows through on the events of Explorers of Sky. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with anything, it's just that's what you want to do. So you do, and you make it, and it connects to those events. Then let's say a few years later, someone totally unrelated to you, some other person, Lord Harrimont shows up with his own team, and he says, I want to make a game that connects to that game Ect made. Then a few years later, Nerazaz shows up and says, you know what? Those games are cool, but I kind of want to do a game in between them. So he does a game set in between those 2 games. And you see how this kind of unintentionally grew, right? Like most timelines, none of this was planned out to begin with. It's just individual teams wanted to tell stories that were either prequels or sequels to existing stories. This is why all the NES, SNES, and Game Boy games, with the exception of Minish Cap, all connect with each other. All of them are all part of the same canon, because that's how they were written. That's how they were designed. 2 was supposed to directly connect to 1. LTTP was supposed to be a prequel for 1 and 2. Link's Awakening was supposed to be an immediate follow-up to LTTP, and then the Oracle's games were supposed to be an in-between LTTP and Link's Awakening. Oh, and also, as a quick aside, Link Between Worlds was supposed to connect to LTTP, but they didn't want to interfere with the Oracles or the Link's Awakenings, so there's a time gap. We do Link Between Worlds, and then there's a time gap, and that leads to 1. And if you're paying attention, Link Between Worlds does have some input and insight into how it eventually leads to 1, because they knew that eventually it would lead to 1. There you go. Probably Nerazaz. Okay. Nope. Well, now it's spring? I forget which one. I think that's spring. Start to access the skip screen, select to scroll through the screens, item, quest status, and then essence. You can pick a ring to wear on the quest. Check it out. Oh yeah. Save. I should probably save. Oh god, I don't remember how to save. How do I save? Oh god! I don't remember how to save. Oh god. I can't save. How will I live without save states? Someone look up same boy save state, please. Hotkey. Save, select twice, essence, and save. I do like these tutorials being in the game, by the way. I always have. Since the SNES. Final Fantasy IV was the first game I ever played that had the manual in the game. And the reason why I like this is because it's in the game! Even back then, even in the SNES era, getting just a cartridge of the game without the box or the manual was not uncommon. So being able to access some of this information right here in the game was actually kind of sweet. I mean, if nothing else, when you're renting a game, usually you didn't get the manual with it, right? Because some asshole was rented out the manual and then stole it. So... I'll learn about the mystical seeds? Sure. 5 kind of mystical seeds. They appear in different seasons, and each seed has a different event. You can't carry seeds without a satchel. A skill for a courageous hero. Press and hold the sword button to save power, then release it. It's okay, I already know this power, because, you know. Okay, so... Okay. Nope, okay. That is not save stating. When did game manuals stop being a thing? Oh gosh. Honestly, I would say PlayStation 2 GameCube era was roughly the era in which that started happening. There were still manuals on the PS2 and the GameCube era, but they started being a lot more threadbare. And I bet a lot of you noticed, especially in Nintendo games, because when, like, you'd get a new, you get Mario Galaxy, and it's like, all right, pull out the manual because you want to read the manual. And it was just like a really, really basic list of, here's the commands, and here's how the controls are, and that's it. What's the right shift? Oh, well, okay. That didn't work. Hang on. Graphics options. Of course it's in graphics options. Where else would it be? So the on-screen display is on, so we would see it if it was save stating. Hey! There we go. Okay, sorry. We did it. Want to learn shield tactics? Yes. Deflect enemy attacks while pressing the shield button. Yes, tell me about bombs. Taking out a bomb, press the button again to place it. Press A to throw a bomb in that direction. Press the button again to pick up the placed bomb. Set items to A or B on the subscreen, like seeds and bombs. Keep track of how many you have. Yes, tell me about the seasons. Holodrum has 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. The world changes with the seasons. In spring, blast blooms can send you high in the air. Summer reveals creek beds and lake bottoms. In fall, leaves open new paths and mushrooms are ready to be picked. In winter, snow blocks trails and lakes freeze. Even this know-it-all knows little of essences. Aww. But, like I just mentioned, plus to info in-game. I do like the manual being in-game. We actually have a little bit of precedence for that. Not much. Most games don't bother. Essence. Little tutorial of how these work. So, grass. This is straight up the LTTP grass. Like, I don't know what else to add. This is the LTTP grass. It's still good grass. Make of that what you will. This is the mayor's home. The mayor is fascinated with gacha nuts now. The place planter and the planter's deeds affect what the nut produces. The mayor found a good place recently, so he's quite happy. Look, it ain't my fault there's good grass. I'm Rule, mayor of Horon Village. Do you have any gacha seeds? If you plant a gacha seed, it'll grow into a thing that bears nuts, and you'll find all sorts of things in the nuts. Get it? It's a gacha seed. LTTP was on the SNES, and predates this game by literally a decade. I want to make a cuckoo clock better than any before. I can't find a wooden bird I like, one that's just breathtaking. We need a wooden bird. So let's see what we got in the shop, and if we could rob them. We need to rob these people. Sorry, sir, you cannot enter here without a member's card. Are you curious? What's back there is a secret. It's sexy ladies. It's always sexy ladies. This is a handheld game, yes. 2001. Very, 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 very late. The GBA came out 3 weeks after this game came out, by the way. I am Blossom. This is my first child. A healthy baby boy. I'm having trouble choosing a name. Can you help me think of one? What would you call him? What should we call this bouncing baby boy? Ganon! I like Ganon, actually. I think that's very appropriate. It even fits. Do we name him Ganon? Yes. It's a fine name. That's what I'll call him. He seems happy to have it. Come visit us. So the name is decided. Ganon it is. It's a fine name. I hope he grows to be a fine child. Our guardian, the Maku tree, stands beyond the gate to the east of town. It said a hero with a sword will come to speak with him. Wonder if it's true. Nah. These people have obviously have contact with Hyrule, so I should mention something. Holodrum and I can't remember the name of the other place are just different nations, different regions. As we've discussed before, as Zelda 2, of all games, showed rather well, Hyrule is just a country. In fact, it's not even that big of a country, all things considered. Most of the games are centered in or around Hyrule, so it's pretty rare we get to distant, but I'm only bringing that up because not everyone has really grasped the fact that, of course, they have heard of the events of what happened in LTTP, because it's over there, right? Like, it's like finding out what's happening in France while you're living in Germany. It's not that hard to comprehend. Anyways, moving on. You know of the Hero's Cave near the western coast? The Hero's Sword is said to be hidden there, but no one's ever found it. So the very, very first time I named my character Ganon was in LTTP specifically. Look, I hear about stuff from France all the time, Meatfist, I'm just saying. Yeah, in all honesty, what's more likely, because these are kingdoms, relatively small kingdoms, so this is more like Wessex hearing about something happening over in, I don't know, Northshire, or Norfolkshire, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know the names of British kingdoms off the top of my head. You get the idea. Do come in, I am Vasu, the jeweler. This your first time? Let me explain jewelry. Rings made from mystical seeds have very mystical powers. If you wear one, its mystical power will be passed to you. But you must keep it in your ring box. The mystical power will gradually weaken, and you won't be able to use it. Understood? You don't have a ring box. I like you, so here, take a ring box. It's a level 1 ring. It can contain 1 ring. Take this ring as a sign of our friendship. If you've had it appraised and its power revealed, you cannot wear it. Let's appraise it. Oh, I see. I call this the friendship ring, symbol of a meeting. I'll appraise it for free this time, but after this time it'll be 20 rupees. If you get 2 of the same ring, I'll buy one for 30 rupees. Praised rupees get added to the list. When you want a ring, move it from your list to your box. Let's take a peek at your list. Rings do nothing unless worn. And now we have the friendship ring equipped. No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't know how to Hephaestus, so probably not. The west part of town is the know-it-all birds. See them if you have any questions. Show courage to gain passage. I have the courage, Trivorce. Let me... okay, fine, whatever. Stupid Maku tree. Not letting me in because I don't have a sword. What is this? Ocarina? Wrong area, of course. Where am I? So you can kind of see what the map starts to look like. And it's trying really hard to be a useful map. It really is. Like, you can see, you know, there's, like, the fountain, and there's the one house, and there's the other house. These are just green field areas. There's a tree up there. But, like, oh, man. I'm probably not going to give a negative to screen transitions. I tend to not give negatives for things that are literal physical limitations of the hardware. That's a pretty normal rule of ours. And let's be clear, each of these screen transitions is actually a loading screen. Better handling of screens. Well, again, honestly, that's what happens with the other game that we just played, the Switch version of Link's Awakening. That is how you do screen transitions. In other words, you don't. There we go. Oh, it's much better. Okay. Screen fixed. Ooh, that's bright. Oh, don't kill me. Oh, don't kill me. Oh, God, they're gonna kill me. Having said that, several games like to be clever about how they do loading for screens. Even Metroid Prime 1, the original, had this really weird thing. So, in Metroid Prime 1, the original, I keep saying it that way, there were load triggers in each room to help load the adjacent rooms, right? Now you think, oh, so they're at the door. No, that's what they did in the old Metroids. Instead, Metroid Prime 1, like, here's the room, right? And you gotta go down here and go across this thing, and you gotta go up this tower, and then go across this bridge, and there's the door. The actual load trigger to load what's past that door is on this tower as you're going up. They're pretty big load triggers. They're hard to miss. It is possible to miss them. So, if you've ever actually played Metroid Prime 1 on the GameCube, and you've ever zoomed over the door, hit blast, and the door wouldn't open, because you're just sitting like, come on, there's a non-zero chance that you actually skipped the load trigger, which was back there. So at that point, the door is now the load trigger, and now it's just sitting there waiting to load the next room, which is why the door isn't opening. Point in fact, a lot of the speedrunning tactics, this is part of the reason I know this, for Metroid Prime 1, focus entirely on making sure that the routing ensures that those load triggers are hit, so that while they're navigating the room, the next screen is being loaded, instead of them having to stare at a door waiting for it to just, you know, waste their time. So very, very basic tutorial room here, or dungeon. This is how pushing stuff works. Very low-level enemies, all melee-focused. That is to say, you have to bump into them and actually take damage. Yeah, nowadays it's not really the same issue as it used to be. Go figure. Oh yeah, you've also got a specific... You just have the map for dungeons like this. LTTP... Whoever asked that... Who'd asked that? It was Yura. Yeah, you are correct. LTTP did both. LTTP did cell-based loading. So sometimes it was an individual screen, and sometimes it was a much larger screen, and then sometimes it was most of the overworld. But not all of the overworld, just most of it. It usually had to do with how many actors were active in a given cell, which is how they determined how big they needed to be. For example, the forest in the southwest section of the map, where you go see one of the best cutscenes in the game, that's one individual cell because there's so much scripting that's to happen on that one screen, so it's isolated and by itself. I mean, I'll be real, if we ever reach a point where a youngin' doesn't even know what a load screen is, I'll be happy. My niece knows what loading is. She's played games on the Switch. You got the wooden sword? This truly is a sign of courage. Because it's total crap. mean, it's a wooden sword. So, this is a little different than what we were just doing in Link's Awakening. We only have half of an arc for attacking. And that is going to be important, so that's going to be something I'm going to have to get used to. Listen, nobody cares about fidelity. That's not true. People who don't matter care about fidelity. Like Yura! How dare you, Yura? You're making all our load times get worse. We'll never forgive you for this, Yura. Someone has to defend fidelity. I can't even... I got another. Like, I appreciate graphics. I do. Obviously, I have multiple categories of the game reviews that specifically give positives for graphics. But I do think the obsession with realism and the obsession with trying just way too hard to make your thing 2% shinier is something that I do think is and has been hurting game design for, I don't know, when did the PS2 come out? You know? I having said that, I do have a great deal of gratitude for the fact that we've pretty much officially entered the era in which more and more people are becoming aware of the fact that design matters more than fidelity. And that's awesome. Like, that's... I used to feel ostracized for having that opinion. I used to say that I think LTTP looks good. Now, I think, you know, Mario, Yoshi's Island looks good. Now, I think FF6 looks good. Now, I think Mega Man 6 looks good. Now, I don't have to deal with that anymore. People tend to generally be like, yeah, no, that tracks. True enough, Madefist. We have definitely... I've actually already given my opinion that we have already, in fact, straight up plateaued in terms of what we can do graphically with Red Dead Redemption 2. And I don't remember when that came out, but it was a few years ago. Wake up! Who's that? Did you wake me? Who are you? Yeah, where's your cute sister? Because I'm, you know, I'm free this Friday. I'm just saying. 2018, there you go, 6 years ago, and I mean this professionally, although I'd love to hear Yura's thoughts on this. For 6 years ago, I think, is when we capped, when we truly plateaued with regards to the sheer fidelity of what we could do with graphics. Din was taken while I was asleep. Oh, there's no sign of the Temple of Seasons. This is awful. Guarding the Oracle is my duty. Alas, how I've withered. What's to be done, Lore? With the seasons in chaos, the land is robbed of the very essence of nature, draining all of my might. Can you save Din in my stead? That's all this Maku tree has ever asked. I sense evil on the northern peak where the Temple of Seasons rested. Onyx has cast a shadow on the northern peak. I think you will find him there. You'll need the 8 essences of nature that lie sleeping in Holodrum. Gathering all 8 is the thing that makes the game progress. Do not repeat your statement. I give you this key. Go to the giant root near the lake up north. The first essence should be there, but I expect some resistance. I'm gonna just go back to sleep. I mean, honestly, yeah, Madefist, I agree with you. We've had really good-looking games for a while. I mean, GTA 5 is another perfect example of that, which, to go along with what you just said, was a PS3 title. Or PS4. It was PS3, right? God, I actually can't remember now. I just remember GTA 5 is an older game than a lot of people tend to remember. It is PS3, okay. Questioning myself there. Thank you, Super Banjo. Always appreciate you. Want to put that towards up to 3 things? Please let me know. I mean, that's always been the way it works, right? Games towards the end of a console generation tend to look way better than they have any rights to. Point in case. I'll go straight from here. I'm sure I saw one there. Go with caution. Sure thing, Impa. Die, monsters. That's true, Monobrent. You're absolutely right. Castlevania Advance Collection. Resident Evil Block, and Max Payne 3. You got it. But yeah, no, the FF series is actually one of my favorite ways to explain the difference in graphics across generations. Look at FF1 to FF3, 4 to 6, and 7 to 9. Oh, and 10 to 12 while we're on the subject. Every single one of those is a pretty big jump up in terms of quality from the one at the beginning of the generation. And the Final Fantasy games have usually been pretty early on in their particular consoles' careers. Like, a lot of people forget FF10 came out very early in the PS2's life cycle. And so did 7, for that matter. And so did 4. My dad, Talon, went to climb Mount Kuko, so I have to care for our hands, but there's so much I don't know. I've got your back. Die, monster! You don't belong in this world! Oh, shoot! Oh, shoot! Oh, shoot! Okay, hang on. I will agree that the gap between 10 and 12 is not as visible as the others I just mentioned, but there's still definitely a gap there. The cutscenes are, I would say, the biggest and most obvious variance, because the difference in quality in terms of voice act, or motion capture, facial animation, you know, lip syncing, that kind of stuff. Big jump up. There we go. Do I trust Nintendo to make good movies of their IP? No, because they already haven't, ever. If any of the upcoming movie titles they're working on are actually worth a damn, I will be very happy about that, but very surprised. Level 1! Gnarled Root. I feel like I'm being watched. So this is what it feels like to be a streamer, right here. Every second they're judging you, staring at you, knowing every single little mistake you make. And if you do anything wrong, they'll pounce on you like hyenas. Like hygiene wolves. Sorry. Detective Pikachu's not bad. It definitely was better than it had any right to be. And I would say it's better than the recent Mario film. Which, I suppose, doesn't sound like much, but I mean it. Okay, so that's a key door. We'll go right first. I knew it! I knew it, Meat Fist! The pressure. The pressure. Wait, what happened to Itch? That's true, Kiro Whitenose. That is true. It's a shame, because I do think multiple Nintendo IPs could work really well in the movieverse. Asterisk, I have not seen the animated Pokemon films, so I can't speak to those. So that's... who knows if that's good or not. Hello? Return light to unlit torches. Okay, old man. Thanks. You got anything else to say? Return the... okay, yeah, thanks. Got it. Listen, do you have any, Grey Poupon? I don't have any Grey Poupon! Okay, cool. See you around. Actually, probably one of the only ads in the history of the ever that actually worked on me is that Grey Poupon ad. Because I was just curious enough to try it, and lo and behold, I do actually like Grey Poupon. But then I like spicy mustard in general, so shrug. That's a good question, Meatfist. Why do you live here, sir? Explain yourself. Now, does this dungeon look familiar to anybody? Real question. Let's talk about game design for a second. Just for a sec. Just for a sec. Low rent. It'll be 0 rent. I don't know. Does this look familiar to anybody? If we walk in, there's a thing to the right that gets us a key, which gets us to the thing to the left. There you go, Talia. I figured someone actually knew it. So, as I mentioned earlier, some of the bones of that Zelda 1 remake I already talked about are actually still in these games, and it's most obvious in Oracle of Seasons. A lot of this dungeon we're going through right now is pretty much some of the dungeon design they had already done for the Zelda 1 remake, which obviously got canned. Once again, good directing, good management. And yeah, most of the bosses in Seasons, we'll talk about that in a minute, but you'll recognize a fair few of them. Let's do this, I think. There we go. Oh, and also, since we're obviously post-LTTP, every dungeon has its own song. And can I just say, some of the dungeon songs in this game are just bangers. Is that just me? Like, you probably heard it earlier because I had it up. I do actually have a lot of Oracle's music on my list here. I've got Moonlit Grotto, Skull Dungeon, Mermaid Cave, Jabu Jabu's Belly, Dancing Dragon, Explorer's Crypt, and then, of course, I guess that's it, actually. But still, I've got all of those on command, ready to go, because they're just good songs. You've also probably already noticed the major theme of Seasons. Combat. Almost every room we've gone through has primarily been kill all enemies present in order to progress, or push one block. You know, that's actually a fair point, Crazy Horse. But if I'm the madman, what does that make you? This always irritated me. Just let me off the minecart. There's a chest right there. Okay, fine. But yes, now that we have the compass, just like in Link's Awakening, it'll be like, hey! Tell you what, Act, the moment I have infinite time is the moment I will consider bringing those features back. So these are some interesting enemies. If they see you, they will follow in the direction they saw you in until they run into a wall. And then they'll go idle again until they see you again. Now, that's pretty easy to deal with, but trust me when I say it's a little bit pathetically easy to accidentally get yourself locked in a corner and be like, whoops. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough, Crazy Horse. Hard to argue. Yep. Ah, okay. I forgot how that works in this version. If you drop a bomb, you actually currently hold a bomb. Let me destroy the enemy. No. Like here, if I prompt it and then hide in this corner, it will be like, hey! Unless we do it right, like that. Now we're okay. See? I'm gonna be a dick about that. A lot of fairies in this dungeon. I don't remember there being that many. Not that I'm complaining. You cannot pass. Infinite power. Oh, God. I mean, listen, given the end of the second Planet of the Apes film, maybe it's for the best that they're reboots. Okay, so there's our shortcut. We still don't have the thing we need. is just straight up Zelda 1 at this point. Not that I'm complaining. I'm glad to see the assets used. And yes, we will have to give the mid-mission checkpointing positive again. Several of the positives Link's Awakening got will also apply here. Really? Yeah. Really? I did the far left block like first, and it didn't do anything. Look. So some blocks can only be moved in one direction. Which is not great design, by the way. So now, we have our seed satchel, which has ember seeds. This is something that I remember irritating me. The torches, instead of having a torch, we have seeds, we have ammo. We'll see if that's actually a problem this time around, really, but I remember that irritating me several times when I played this game back in the day. That is a much faster... Oh, enemies! Enemies! Enemies everywhere. At least in this version, our movement speed doesn't change when we're charging our weapon. So that's nice. Hello. How are you? Oh, you're dead. Okay. Well, there's the boss key. Hi, Valerian. Well, like I said, we'll see if it's actually an issue or not. I just have bad memories of that. It might have been one of those mild irritation things. You know, like, damn it, I want infinite, what's such and such. We'll see. I'm gonna keep an eye on stuff like that. Like I said, I have pretty vague memories of these games. I was, not at a great part of my life. Don't worry. Not like something super terrible. But I was going to college when I was playing these games. And for anybody out there who's been to college, that should explain everything you need to know. Like, honestly, I'm a little surprised I'm alive after that. Yeah, exactly, Monoprint. Do not recommend doing an 8-hour a day, 40-hour a week job while also doing college full time. That was a mistake. And as I've said several times, it is within the realm of possibility that some of the health issues I have to this very day are because of that. Do not do that. I know what you're thinking. Why did you do that then? Well, I had two options. I could, well, three, actually, I suppose. I could not go to college, which, well, that my mother wasn't having any of that. I could have massive debt that I would probably be paying off to this very day, while masters continue to be dicks. Or, I could work my ass off, and basically destroy my health. Really, there was only one choice at the time. Oh yeah, and of course, none of my biological family supported me at all, because why would they? It's ridiculous. Did I get a useful degree? I have never used it once in my life. I have also said many times I never learned anything in college. But that's just me. I have a bachelor's in computer informations systems. If you're familiar with it, you'll know that that's probably the most generic computer degree that exists. It's usually seen as a launch board degree for other degrees. But, yeah, I was good after that. Last time. Look familiar? Because it's the boss from Zelda 1's Dungeon 1. Just like straight up. Much nicer graphics, though. And Dungeon 1 complete. Let's see, it was this, I want to say. Yep, there it is. Fertile soil, an essence of nature. So did I just pick up poop? Be honest with me. Oh, sorry. Ancient magic poop. Well, thank goodness for that. Oh, I looted the essence of poop. It's me, the Maku tree. Some of the fertile soil has come to me, too. I already feel stronger. In my dreams, I saw the Temple of Seasons in a strange land I do not know. There I saw a precious item that will aid you, Lore. That is all I can see now. That's not very helpful. Oh, you suck. Let's jot down some notes, shall we? Excellent Shadow Machine. Good. I wish it was more of a remake, but that's okay. Yeah, you thought I was joking, Yura. You thought I was joking. The literal reward for the Korok seeds, all 900 of them, is poop. No, I don't mean like it's bad. That's not an adjective. It's a noun. Yeah, Nintendo's like, go home. Stop doing this stuff. It's just... Sorry. Jot down some notes. Oh, hey. It's Maple. 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 Oh, God! All my stuff. Ow, ow, ow. Watch where you're going. You just hit Maple, the Great Witch Syrup's apprentice. Thanks to you, all the stuff fell out of my bag. The Great Witch will be mad. And by the way, this is the Maple from LTTP, who then makes an appearance in LBW. And just... Look, they like to repeat names. Okay, well, I don't know what you want from me. They're all named frickin', like, Biggs and Wedge, okay? I don't know what you want from me. Can't find any long eggs, and now this. I'll just take the stuff you dropped, too. What? Finders keepers. Oh, yeah? I'll remember this. And yes, Maple is the apprentice of Syrup, because... Look. Now, I know what you're thinking. Lore, why would you make fun of people constantly naming everyone the same thing? Well, first of all, because I've studied real-life history. And let me tell you, figuring out that Wilhelm, the son of Wilhelm, whose brother, Wilhelm, is going to be dealing with Wilhelm after Wilhelm, and I think it's as far as I can stretch that, is causing issues. Yeah, that's a real problem in real life. It's not as much of a problem anymore, but by God, people could not come up with new names, historically speaking. I don't know if that's true in every country, but pretty much every country that I've ever studied the history of has the, oh yeah, we're just going to name you after your grandfather thing. That's true. There's also Frederick, or Frederick Wilhelm. Where can the Temple of Seasons be hidden? Does no one have a clue? Apparently you don't. Shadow Machine the Third is currently the Sultan of the Autumn. I still can't believe that happened! Of all of the bonkers things that happened in that playthrough, that is still the one that amuses me the most. And I married my aunt in that playthrough. And then she tried to murder me. And then died. Yep, she tried to murder me with love. Oh, just, wow. That was a great playthrough. What's your name? Are you male? Then you're Ptolemy. Are you female? Your name is Cleopatra. Wait, young traveler. I'm a wanderer prophet, Sakra, and I feel it. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. The four spirits are calling you. Make no mistake. The Temple of Seasons is still hidden in this world. If you can find the temple, pay a visit to the spirits who live there. Surely they can help. I'm going back to sleep. Oh, God. Hohenzollern. Screw him. No, not literally. Not literally! And there goes the timeline. And the gene pool. Hey-o! Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they got confused too. Go around, go around. If I could just oil it, it would go around more quickly. Yes, yes. Yeah, as I say, they were all inbreeding. Like, all of them. It reminds me of one of my favorite jokes. Oh God, King Henry VIII? Yeah. King Henry VIII's daughter is like, I don't want to marry him, he's inbred. And King Henry says, listen, you can't go saying that things like that. We're all inbred. My history teacher once had this interesting conspiracy theory that World War I was caused. It's horrible. A temple, like, fell into Sabrosia. What's a temple? Sabrosia's a secret place. I must return in secret without being seen. Jeez, this little thing. He had this theory. He was a terrible history teacher, by the way. That World War I was just caused because, like, the rulers of Europe, which were mostly cousins, had, like, a family tiff, and so decided to go to war. It's pretty stupid. Besides, anybody who's actually studied history knows World War I was going to happen. The specifics might have varied, but that was going to happen. Everybody saw that coming. Everybody with a brain, anyways. Ah! You asshole! I actually forgot about that, too. Listen, we've got to have war periodically, okay? If we don't have war, are we even really people? Honestly. No, it's okay. Europe's at war right now, Lord Harrowmont. That's true, Lord Hermon. We need to fix that. God, I am joking. God, please. That can't happen. We don't need that right now. So let's go to the Dark World. Or, I mean, Subrosia. A temple fell into the East Plaza. What strange clothes. Where did you find them? Right, I can't jump yet. You can do the Subrosian dance well. You get a boomerang. Grab items, hit switches, stun beasts. Boomerangs are so useful. Quite busy. There's lots of good ore chunks at the temple in the east. Lava and mud. And blood. If you dig up the ground near here, you can get ore chunks. Some spots produce lots of ore chunks. Delicious ore chunks. Oh. Sorry. Please don't kill me. Oh, God. Having rupees doesn't do any good. You need ore chunks. Aren't rupees... I mean, you know. You get a lot of good ore chunks around here. Thanks. Because you're really hungry, Chill Penguin. Like, have you ever been really hungry? Like, really, really hungry? Listen, global warming's a myth, clearly. Listen, these people aren't evil, they're just... You finally come. When the temple was buried, I thought perhaps you wouldn't come to see me. This Temple of Seasons is where we four spirits reside. I've waited a long time for you. Do you like spring? Or summer? Fall, perhaps? I actually prefer winter. Give it a choice. I would also accept spring or fall. But summer can go directly to hell. But no, you must love winter, get the Rod of Seasons, and visit us who wait in each of the four corner towers. Oops, sorry. Yeah, humidity and heat, not a great combo. I don't have... Okay. I guess this is our only option at the moment. We got the thing. See, what we really need is to just make export, we need to export air conditioning to the entire world. I stalled on that so hard because I was thinking AC. And the more I thought AC, the more I thought Asheron's Call? No. Assassin's Creed? No. Armored Core? No. Alpha Centauri? No. And I just stalled on that word for way too long. But too many things are named AC, and there's alternating current? Ahem. Ace Combat? Actual clay. What is actual clay? I know what sovereign clay is. Acne cream. Listen, I'm just saying, if I could reach out and give the whole world AC, then I would. Among other things. Because, you know, we also need things like good internet everywhere, good electricity everywhere, good clean water everywhere. De-ice age! Yeah, I gotta say it right. Once we got the easy stuff out of the way, then we start working on public transport. After public transit, we start working on medical and education and justice. Once that's all lined up, we start getting the maintenance lines going. The volcanoes have been acting up because of the temple. Oh, that's why they're all exploding. Got it. What a great lava. A lava bath is the best thing after practicing the dance. Oh, sure, I'll just... Ah! I mean, joking aside, I do think it's easier than some people make it out to be. Don't mistake me. It's a long, hard, complex project, but it's doable. Whereas some people, not going to name names, like to pretend that it's actually impossible. So I'm going to suck at this. Usually this takes me a few tries. Yeah, let's just throw this in here. Yes, instructions, please. Do-da-dee. We got that boomerang. I cannot believe I did that first try. I'm not even going to flex. That just, wow. I did not have that easy of a time the last time I played that. I don't even remember if we need the boomerang, but, you know... No, the boomerang isn't super OP in this one. Sadly. Do I have any seeds right now? I do not. Wait, hang on. It's actually over here. I do have one seed. Let's see what we get out of that. Likes already? Jeez Louise. No, Mira. As I mentioned earlier, I actually don't remember these games particularly fondly at all, because I remember being lost all the time. Well, again, lost is not the right word. I remember knowing where to go, and having no idea how to get there. And just being really frustrated kind of trying to get from point A to point B. Having said that, I anticipate these games will score pretty well. We'll see. Even Link's Awakening kind of fell apart at the end a little bit, and that's pretty normal. 6-year-old. Yeah, again, I was in college when I was playing these games. And, like, 15 years ago? Whenever the Rumination came out, it probably was more like 12 years ago now or something like that. Good night, Crazy Norse. Enjoy the sleep. Enjoy being destroyed by the weather. No, come back, Maple. I need your money. Anything good? Yeah, not really. I know. I'm sorry. I actually played video games as an adult. I'm just picturing the audience gasping. I want to get back at all me mates and dig the ship free, but Captain said don't come back till you find a bell. Can someone take my place? Oh, okay. I have no idea a knowable name. Really. I'm not even sure if these two games will score particularly distinctly from each other. I mean, they should. They are different games. Yeah, but it doesn't, because I don't have any of the items necessary. Oh my god! I didn't burn the dog, you burned the dog. Well, I found a sensor for soft ring, or soft earth, which is not great. Oh, neck. Okay. And of course I can't do anything right now seasons-wise, because I don't have any seasonal power. Let's see how Ganon's doing. Yep, Ganon will go up very strong. Listen, there's only one thing we need, and that's mayo. But then again, mayo can be a little bit too spicy. What if we can get anything even spicy now? Anyways, let's go ahead and grab the shield. I don't even know if we need it, but you never know. Oh, yeah, there's monsters all over the place all of a sudden. You know about owlstones? Owlstones are mythic statues that give you advice when a certain seed is placed onto them. Okay, what's the seed? Son of a girl in a strange garb carrying a ribbon. She was east of town, I think. Yeah, I already did that. Thanks, buddy. You don't wear your rings, the powers won't come. If you want to know more, go see the jeweler. Yeah, okay, thanks. See, I'm already lost, by the way. I literally don't know where to go next, so I'm just roaming. It's okay, I'm pretty sure we'll find something somewhere to indicate where to go next. But first, let's see what we got out of our tree. A ring! Cool. Favorite condiment that goes well with anything? Salt. Like that, I'm sorry, that's easy. Salt goes with pretty much anything. Have you never had salted candy, Meat Fist? Or are you just messing with me? In which case, never mind. And then there's like tomatoes. I know that sounds like a weird one, but I never enjoyed just eating raw tomatoes until I discovered you could just salt them a little bit. Just a little. Doesn't have to be a lot. And all of a sudden, salted tomatoes are just, oh my god, it's one of my favorite snack foods. Yeah, that's Dungeon 1. Yep, no, okay. I mean, salted caramel is pretty common, but there's all kinds of salt. Salted chocolate, salted gummies, salted ice cream. Now I'm trying to... I can't think of any candy. A really common thing with Danishes is to have a pinch of salt in there. Ugh. I don't mean like in baking the dough. Obviously, you put salt in the dough. I mean like to flavor the filling in the middle. The hardest condiment to make work. Well, by definition, that would probably be fennel. Or something like it. You know, anything that's one of those biological issues kind of things. Because, you know, biological issues exist. Okay, I had to have missed something at the temple. Alright, let's go back to the temple and see what I figured I missed. Because, yeah, I don't... Yeah, cilantro, fennel, and there's actually a third thing, and I can't remember what it is. But, you know, the biological stuff. Ignoring that, I would say paprika, personally. Don't mistake me, paprika's great and all, but, like, it's really easy to use too much. It's also really easy to use too little. And it doesn't go with every dish. Also, white pepper. Don't mistake me, I actually love white pepper. Like, unabashedly. But... one of the first things I remember, I was actually using white pepper with one of my chili dishes once. And I remember reading, white pepper's pretty spicy, be careful. And I was like, nah, I don't believe that. Narrator, he put too much white pepper in. I can't do fish sauce. It is ironically too fishy for me. Now, eel sauce, sure, I can make that work. But who, wait, who puts sugar in everything? You're welcome, Talia. I'm here for you, really. And yes, I deliberately lined up that joke for people. Wait, hang on. But if people from the States put sugar in everything, who puts salt in everything? Russians. So if it's winter we're supposed to start with, which makes the most sense, and coincides with my vague memories. Well, it's gotta be down here, right? Oh. Yeah, we needed the boomerang. Cool. Okay, that. Cool. Thank you for coming, child of the crested. And the spirit of winter has been waiting for you. Din is our dear friend. Now let me bestow the power of the spirit of winter on the rod you hold. When you swing the rod from a stump, the seasons shall change. In winter, the waters freeze, the snows pile. There's the other 3 spirits, too. Once you get the other items, of course. We have gained the power of winter. Now, really quick. So I need the feather... See, that was Rod of Seasons. The new roads will surely open with its power. I dreamt of woods in the east. There may be essence in there. Anyway, so we need the feather for that. We need a key for that. I have no idea what we need for that. So I have a feeling feather's going to be the next one. Just getting a bit of a mental list going. At first, when I was playing this, I was a little bit irritated that you can only change the seasons when you're sitting on a stump. But actually, that makes a whole lot of sense. There's just too much terrain changing that can happen, and if you weren't on a safe spot, a lot of bad things could happen. I know this especially because speedrunners and tassers have figured out how to do that without being on a stump, and it's exactly as glitchy as it sounds. So, yeah, that tracks. That's it. You have the Rod of Seasons. If that Rod of Seasons held the powers of the season spirits, you could change the seasons. But only as the power of winter. Swing its power. Temple of Seasons sunk into some land called Subrosion. There must be other entrances to the Subrosion land. You must find them. Perhaps you will even go to the Temple of Seasons again. And so we part. I have, in fact, played Mafia 2. It is, in fact, the only Mafia game I've played, personally. I watched a friend play Mafia 1, and I just didn't have any interest in Mafia 3. I enjoyed Mafia 2, actually. Although, you're going to make fun of me if I tell you what my favorite memory? Maybe favorite's wrong. Did he seriously just add my shield's gone? Likes. If I tell you what my strongest memory is of Mafia 2. So I'm not going to tell you, because then you'll kill me. There's nudie mags in Mafia 2? Why? There's Playboys. Oh my god. No, it's actually the driving. They're a collectible. Yeah, no, the driving is solid, and I'm one of those extreme weirdos who actually enjoyed, you know, the follow the law driving. It was a nice challenge. I actually started doing that in GTA games specifically because of Mafia 2. Just for the extra fun of it. Not that you would ever see that on camera. On camera, I'm just driving like a madman. That's right, L.A. Noire had that too. Okay. Like, give me back my shield. So many enemies in this one, my goodness. I like to think that these seasonal changes only happen in seconds, too. Because that just makes it even more freak-out-ish for all the other people. Ah, you startled me. Winter sets in all of a sudden, then down my chimney comes. You're not Santa. You don't scare me. Now take this shovel and clear the snow from my walkway. Keep the shovel when you're done. Thanks. Oh, yeah. Get a good day's work in here. Oh, I did it once. Ah, it's hard to do. Whatever. I give up. Go away, go away, go away. Gosh darn it. Pretty much Shadow Machine. I don't even know why I look at that map. Does anybody find that map useful? Real question. I'm not trying to be too negative, but god dang, I just cannot read that at all. It's easy to run on my mental map, and that's not a great map. That I'll give you. It's a good way of telling you where you're not, or where you haven't been. Okay. Oh, stretch. Okay. Give me your money, Maple. Give me all your money. Give it to me. Oh, damn, that's a lot over there. You're on it. Get some sleeps. Or else. Mystery seeds. What they do is a mystery. Try them on many things. Yeah, this is the plot coupon seed. These you just use on whatever, really. Like this. Don't forget to give me mystery seeds. Thanks. I've never heard such an opinion before, Yura, but grain of salt. It's Dungeon 2. Snake's Remains. I will be right back. Oh my god. Someone tell Crossbones he's not a real villain. Stop pretending he is. Okay. Looks like we'll get the bracelet in this dungeon. You got a pittance of rupees. I don't even remember how many rupees we need in this one. It's like, I don't know, 1,500 in Link's Awakening. So I'm sorry. Does anyone remember how many rupees we need in this one? Let me just ask the question outright. Because I don't remember how important they are, except for identifying rings. And if I remember correctly, identifying rings isn't that important. Like, I remember I stopped doing that at a certain point. I could also just be misremembering. It has been a minute. I also have lost all of my viewers, apparently. It's okay, I'm not a priest. You may talk to me. Well, I am a priest to you, Valerian, but that's a separate thing. Oh. Damn it, we lost Meat Fist. I guess that's okay. I heard about that Shadow Machine, and that sucks. Not because it was Meme Dog. Because it was a dog. Nobody wants to hear about a dog passing away. Except Valerian, obviously. Look, everyone's gonna fail sometimes, Octave. It's fine, it's fine. Mistakes happen. I'm not some kind of Bond villain. You have failed me for the last... I don't like dogs, Mean Fist. I also don't like coffee. That doesn't mean I spontaneously think that we should get rid of all the coffee. Sorry. That we should get rid of all the coffee in the world. I love the giant skull on the spikes, by the way. Makes me wonder if all the little spikes have skulls on them, too, and we just can't see them. Random thoughts. It hurt. Yeah, we need the bracelet for that room. So, low health Beetle Leaps. How bad do we think this one is? As usual, I have heard worse. To this very day, I'm pretty sure Pokemon Gen 1 is the worst of the low health Beetle Leaps. I don't think I've ever heard anything worse than that. But, yeah, this feels kind of in line with some of the other games we've covered recently, like Zelda 2's. Not terrible, but probably still single negative worthy. I apparently can't type today. There we go. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure most of the sound effects in this game are directly lifted from Link's Awakening. Same engine, too. Yeah, I've often felt, although I actually have no evidence of this, that due to the ridiculous ambition of this project, that's why they did a whole bunch of asset reuse, to limit the amount of work they had to do. But I don't actually know. I wasn't able to find any information about that. All we know is that asset reuse exists, and that's about it. Asset reuse doesn't bother me that much, though. Not really. As long as you're smart about it. Which is good, because otherwise Tears of the Kingdom would probably take it in the pants. Can I just, real quick. I know the beeping is annoying, but can I just give praise to that usage of the background? The glowing lamp. It's only 3 frames. That's all it is. Dung, 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 dung. But it really adds to, like, the vibe of being underground, you know? And it's a clever way to have brickwork without having to have a giant repeated texture painted on the wall. Good stuff. Please give me a heart. I know there's a degree of dynamic drops, but I don't know to which extent. I may have to actually look into that. Or just do my own testing live. Excuse me. Excuse me. How would it be 4 frames are? There's faded fully out, there's in the middle, and then there's fully glowing. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2. That's the animation. That's true, Monobrand. Very good. Very good point. Please give me a heart. Please let me rip out your heart. Kingdom heart. I can't even turn this into a joke. Just please give me a heart. God, please. Please. Oh my god. Nothing is dropping hearts. Well, we could just test the death mechanic. See how bad that's going to be. Now, that's an interesting question, Yara, but I'm going to go with no. Whoa. Actually, several games, Lord Hairlock. Mostly more modern games, though. Obviously, the music variance in Pokemon Black and White is actually a pretty legit way to do it. Also, in a lot of more recent games, there's like a kind of a dull or fading thing that kind of drifts in and out, you know? Which is pretty cool. No, sorry, Azar. I didn't mean to sound elitist about that. No, you are right in that there's 4 total aspects to the animation. It's just reusing frame 2. This is a very common trick when it comes to these sort of things. I still haven't gotten a heart. And then some games like to be all fancy about it and be like, hey, you're about to die. Slow. While also doing Raspberry Jam. Those games suck. And I know what you're thinking. Could you give an example? Yeah, sure. Final Fantasy 15. Hey, bracelet. Whoops. Oh, okay, so let's find out what happens. So 329, 6 bombs. We're gonna continue. We still have 6 bombs, we still have 1 key, we still have everything. Okay, so that is the death format that I thought it would be. That's pretty much the death format from LTTP onwards. So it's actually a decent penalty for failure, which I will accept. Let's go ahead and jot this down here. Trying to be more organized about how I do these things. 1 second, please. Bogley Woods. They slowed down the piranha plants. Good! Those guys were dicks. I've never maxed a character in a while without dying. No. I've also never tried, for whatever that's worth. Now, Lord Harrimont, he's got that. He knows how to hardcore. What is the name of that stupid town? Horon? Is that it? It is it. Horon Village. There we go. Perfect, perfect. Horon Village. Cool. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was dying. But hey, I can lift stuff now. I don't know if there's an achievement for that kind of thing. The only achievement I know of actually isn't in the game anymore. Which is the Undying. Which I have, by the way. Oh yeah, Jedi Fallen Order did that too, Arspruce. To an extent. Oh my god. I apparently suck at the combat of this game, which is great for me. Oh yeah, I have to actually equip... I have to equip the thing. Because this isn't the Switch version. That doesn't exist. This could be interesting. And already. Yeah, I did. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So could you all, like, drop more health than you're currently dropping, please? That would be great. A little low on the health. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. And now we're back to beetle leaves. That's what we can do here first, then we'll go through the tunnel. I do like the roly pin things instead of just your typical bricks and blocks. Just a little way to vary up the strength thing. Health? Ah, health. Okay. This is over here. Yep, nope, that's where I thought we were. Come to me, my minions. Okay, come to me less than you're currently coming to me. Discontinue coming to me, minions. Do I have enough bombs for this? Probably not. What is this? This is a video game. It's funny, given how relatively little influence this particular game has. We have 3 left. 1, 2, 3. I can't make it. I need 1 more. And we ran out of time. Okay, can I get some more bombs? Nope. 10 bombs for 30 rupees. Sold. Let's try that again. I don't even know what the reward is. I don't even care. Okay, that's cool. I just wasted a bomb. That's what I like doing with my life, is wasting bombs. Hey, it was even worth it. Nice. So nobody answered me earlier. Does anybody know, is there like a big spender item for rupees in this game? So let's just go and buy 10 more bombs. I have not, Hira. That would involve having Netflix. I cannot abide Netflix. Mostly because I don't really have a lot of money for things like that in my life. Oh yeah, we definitely want the satchel upgrades. 100%. wonder if any of that carries... I don't remember what all carries over into the second save, too. I know some things do, but I know it's not a lot, too. Well, that's mostly, like, heart pieces, right, Monobrent? If memory is even close to correct. Frickin' rings. See, the rings is the thing I do remember. The frickin' rings. We've already got 280 rupees, and that's not a small amount of money. What do I ask? Come here, Keys. Come here that I might kill you. You now imagine if it was the same song for every dungeon you're... Cool. Boss time. Hey, it's the same frickin' boss. From, like, the end of Link's Awakening. Damn it, dude. Being a dick. No! Oh, okay. I didn't need that fairy anyways, it's fine. Completely tapped me on bombs there. Because I suck at throwing bombs. Really weird random thing. If you, in a lot of the games like this, you walk up to a... come on. Open the door. Have a key. Oh, there you go. You walk up to something you can lift and you just hit the lift button. But if you see here, it does nothing. You actually have to hold back. Like that. In order to lift something up. It's just a really minor thing that's always stuck with me for some reason. But yes, Mr. Ed, this is the strongest of the Links by most accounts. This is the Link who went through LTTP, who was already pretty strong, just in LTTP. Who then went through these two games, and then went through Link's Awakening. He's got some stuff under his belt. I think we're good-ish. Let's go ahead and progress. Where are we at? Where are we at? Okay. The weakest Link, by all accounts, is probably Wind Waker Link. He doesn't even have prophecy on his side. He's just some kid. Total badass of a kid, but, you know. Come here, Keys. Nobody likes you. I would say the Ocarina one is probably second strongest overall. Although, there's certainly something to be said for Breath of the Wild, and I haven't played Tears yet. Ugh. Husky. That's true, Meta Shinryu. In fairness, that guy really had it coming. And I mean, Link was pretty pissed that day. It occurs to me several of the links are only in one game, too, like Minish Link. Or Four Swords links. Yeah, it's true. Link Between Worlds link is just the one link. There are no dumb Zelda questions, unless your name is Nintendo Head of Timeline Progression, in which case, congratulations, your whole job is a dumb question. So, Dodonga. Dodongo? Deblarga? God, I don't know. Look. Words are hard. No. Ah. Well, Ganondorf still had quite a few things going for him. But that would have pretty fundamentally changed how events go. It's a hell of a what-if scenario. I'll tell you what. No timeline anything. Which also means that both Twilight and Wind Waker don't happen. At all. And there's a non-zero chance that they actually just straight up couldn't stop Ganondorf. By the way, love the boss design in this game. Definitely going to get some positives on that front. There's some very creative stuff here, as I'm demonstrating right now. He wouldn't have the Triforce of Power, but Ganondorf was already a freaking powerful dude, in charge of his own tribe, and a wizard. Or, excuse me, sorcerer. You're right, he wouldn't have, you know, the thing augmenting his power to crazy effect, but still. And I don't think anybody could really stand against him, even as himself. And of course, with no other Triforce pieces to stand against him, what are they gonna do? Open your mouth. Give me your face. Yeah, this is how you take a relatively boring boss like Dodongo and turn it into something interesting. From Zelda 1, I mean. And based on what we know, this is very likely to be what the Zelda 1 Dodongo remake boss was going to be like. All kinds of props. Item 2. That's true. Zelda couldn't mess up the timeline in her sympathy? Seeds sprout as seasons change with the gift of time. We have just looted time! Oh, crap! And then, like, everything just dies. Worse than dies. Yeah, Zelda, we get what you were doing. You failed. We know you failed because that Link never really found peace. As we discuss with him in Twilight. Thank you, Lore. I, too, received part of the gift of time. I just dreamt of Spool Swamp out to the west. Something is afoot there, but I can see no more. Yeah, congratulations. You have functionally removed one of the Triforce pieces from history. Wild to think about it. So what I was just about to do, I was going to put a marker here, be like, hey, that's where one of the fairy fountains is. I forgot you can't do that in this game. Ah! Look, in my defense, it's been a long day. I didn't even tell you about this. So, during the lunch break, I decided to go get some errands done, because it was an extremely rare period of time where I can actually go do stuff that doesn't involve working. So, first thing on the list, go to the UPS store and renew my post office box. No problem. Alright, I go to the store, I'm like, okay, need to renew this box. Yes. Why is the door locked? Why is there nobody inside? Oh, right. For those of you watching on the VOD, without historical context, today's Memorial Day, which is a federally recognized holiday. The distinction of which means that most people aren't working today. Barbecuing or something similar. So, whoops. It's okay, it's okay. You know what? I'm just gonna go get a really nice sandwich. So I go ahead and order ahead to get the sandwich. And then I go get some groceries, which I needed to get anyways. I got some lemon cookies and some dried mango. These wonderful dried mango slices with a little bit of salt on them that I just discovered relatively recently. And those are for the kiddos. Like, okay, got all the stuff I need. The sandwich wasn't ready when I got there. But that's okay. That's okay, because I'll just get all my stuff, drive home, empty the car, pause. Where's my sandwich? So, I drove back to the store to get my sandwich. Thankfully, it was still there. But, like, god damn it. The hot times. Yeah, so sorry, Cycloud mentioned something and I wanted to talk about that. I didn't know this until the second time I played this game. So we're about to get an animal companion. Now, obviously it's the kangaroo, because what else would it be? But actually there's 3. And depending on how you progress through this, excuse me, changes which companion it is. Now that's already kind of weird. 2 weird caveats here though. First of all, those of you not aware, which companion you get actually changes the overworld map slightly. Put simply, there are certain individual squares that are, this is an animal companion square, and so the layout of that square changes based on which companion you get, because each one gives you a different traversal, different mobility. Okay, that's cool. So how do I pick between them? Well, you kind of don't. Nothing anywhere indicates how you get one particular companion or another. It just kind of tracks, and depending on what you do, that's how you get it. If we buy the item for 150 rupees, which is half our freaking money right now, then we can go and we can get the flying bear. Strange. And if we want a Dodongo, we have to go all the way back to the dance floor, back in Subrosia. Or we could just get the kangaroo. Pretty sure I got the kangaroo my playthrough, because I didn't know. Like, how do you know something like that? So I don't want to do the dance floor, and I need my rupees, so yeah, we're just gonna get the kangaroo. Great producers? Oh, tons of them. Most of the Zelda producers would qualify, for example. Honestly. Probably Cyclone. Oh, I'm actually going the wrong way, aren't I? Oh, yeah, let me double check something real quick. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Movie-wise, yeah, Miyamoto, Aonuma, the guy who made these games, which I don't want to mispronounce his name, so I'm going to pull my own list here. So where is it? I have a lot of notes on these games, especially these ones. There it is. Hidemaru Fujibayashi. That guy. Good producer. And again, he produced Breath of the Wild. And also Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, fun fact. So even though this was done by the second-party studio that I mentioned earlier, a lot of the people who worked on this game ended up just working at Nintendo. Just straight up being like, hey, can I get a job at Nintendo? And they were like, yeah. So why are producers so disliked? So let's get something out of the way here. If you hear the word producer, what do you think that person's job is? Because it's John Peters. Good answer. There's the 150 item. Money guy, money holder. Money guy, yep. Good answers. People who shift people around. There's technically like 7, but functionally 3 different types of producers. There's the money people. Those are executives who tend to make the decisions and calls on what should happen and how it should happen. If you ever hear someone say executive meddling, or if you hear someone say the executives greenlight a project, generally speaking, that's probably a producer at some direct level or another. But what not everyone knows is producers also tend to be the ones who fight for projects. I've actually talked about this quite a bit. My go-to example for this is Inafune for the Mega Man series, and Rick Berman for Star Trek. In both cases, those producers, their job was to argue with the other executives that Mega Man and Star Trek should be greenlit, that they should get part of the budget. I know that sounds like a strange thing, but that is legitimately one of the jobs of a producer, usually an executive producer. Now, generally speaking, how much hands-on an executive producer is very, 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 very fluid. There's no rules or guidelines for how much an executive producer can get involved in the actual creation of a project. To give you a complete counterexample, and I know this is pathetic, but I am the executive producer of the Rewrite project, right? I'm the one in charge of that, and I do, the green lighting and the functioning and designing and all that fun stuff. I also happen to be the writer, director, caster, and all those other jobs because I'm a very hands-on producer. But you could see how an executive producer can just be like, make that happen, and then they just sit in the office and argue for funds for their particular project. Make sense? So that's an executive producer. Then you have a line producer. A line producer is what you're probably thinking of in your head when you think of the word director. For a bit of perspective, Nintendo uses almost exclusively line producers. They have people... A line producer is there in the trenches, metaphorically speaking. They know the project, they know the people, they help get them in contact with resources they need, they give direction, they give guidance, they're the ones who make calls. The line producer is the one who is right there in the office working alongside the devs, or is there on the set every day working on the show or movie. That's a line producer. I actually have a lot of respect for line producers for obvious reasons. David Livingston, over in Star Trek, is someone I have praised many times, who is a director, is also a line producer, and he is very much one of the biggest reasons why modern Trek is as good as it is. One moment, please. And then there's the third type of producer. The third type of producer is why producers have a bad rap. Excuse me, because the third type of producer is, well, it actually kind of subdivides, but there's some bleed over here. They either do nothing, or they do nothing but interfere. Like, they get in the way, you know what I mean? Ooh, yeah, okay, we're not going there yet. If you've ever heard a bad story about a producer or an executive, there's a decent chance it's the third category of producers. A lot of those people are either has-beens, or do-nothings, or they're politically connected, or they're someone's brother or cousin, or they happen to have money and not a lot of sense. And those producers suck. By the way, at least in Hollywood, percentage-wise, the third category of producers is by far the most common. Have you ever looked at a work and looked at the credits of a work and seen there's like executive producer such and such, and then 5 producers? There's a decent chance 4 of those producers did nothing. Didn't actually contribute to the project in any meaningful manner. Or worse, made it worse. I'm Ricky. Spool Swamp is my backyard. You go south from here, then around and back up. There it is. I'll go with you, but I can't do a thing without my gloves. A guy named Blano took them when I lost a match to him. Why do you need your box? Okay. Yeah, exactly, Noctis. They get credit because that's how that works. That's pretty much it, is they signed a piece of paper and said, yeah, or they actively made the project worse, like I said. There we go. He's from Tekken. God dang it. Everyone knows King is King. Anyways, it's a bit of a long-winded answer, but I hope that answers you. Executive producers on paper outrank everybody else. Producers on paper outrank everyone else other than executive producers, but as the saying goes, some producers are more executive than others. The wave of evil pushes me back. And that's the final dungeon, if I'm not mistaken. In movies in particular, although this does also apply to games, there's this... excuse me, there's this concept where there's an informal pecking order on a project. And that kind of tends to determine who gets to say what, when, and where. Something I've talked about a lot is how much influence Miyamoto has at Nintendo because he's Miyamoto. Because he has so much influence within the office that even if he just like takes a step into an unrelated project and says, hey, you should do this, there's a really good chance they're going to do that, even though he has no on-paper authority. It's not even part of the command chain. That's true for all these projects. Sometimes it's an actor. Yeah, exactly, Russ. Sometimes it's an actor, sometimes... it's a producer, sometimes it's a director. Come on. Can I not? Yeah, some equals are more equal than others. The example I love to use for that... I mean, really, that's pretty much how that works. The reason I tend to... the example I like to use for that is actually George Clooney, because he's an actor. And yet, despite being an actor, he has tremendous influence, and generally speaking, is the one who is in charge of most of the projects he's involved with. Yeah, Ed Norton's another example of that. For good and for bad. Okay. Ooh, seeds. Scent seeds. Oh, I don't really... Damn. Nothing good. Yeah, Tom Cruise is another one. There's several. Like I said, there's several. And then there's some directors who just completely manage to run over everybody on a project. And then there's some directors who don't, who are barely involved other than showing up and giving direction on the actual set. I mean, so Meadfist makes a good point, and that's the first type of director, or excuse me. That's the first type of producer I was talking about. Sorry. The first type of producer is, quite unfortunately, really, really valuable when it comes to a project. You want someone who can make connections, who can argue with deals, who can get you budget, and who can get you resources. If you, the game director, are like, hey, I really need access to this kind of tech, or this kind of hardware, or these kind of dev kits, or I need these people to work on my project, it is a good first-type producer's job, an executive producer, to then make that happen. To use their connections and their money and their charisma stat in order to go make it, start up. One moment, please. That. Okay, let's get us some boxing gloves. I'm the legendary champ, Blano. You want something? Been out in the ring. You bet hunt 10 rupees? You'll listen up. We trade punches till one of us gets knocked out of the ring. And no items. If you break the rules once, next match is 20 rupees. And no rings, only fists. Got it? You ready? Come on. Well, that was fast. You're mad, turn to your fist. Alright, let's go. You have to repeat this each time. No, goddammit. I'm not sure what the game wants from me here. Oh, there we go. I think I'm actually hitting him now. There we go. Jesus, that was weird. But Ulst, fists of golden, kid. You're the new champ. Yeah, take these. You got the gloves. So Patrick Stewart, he's kind of a weird case because he didn't have nearly as much influence in TNG as you'd think. Now, there's several reasons for this. Partially just because Rick Berman was absolutely dominating when it came to influence in the creation of so much of Trek, including TNG. But also, because Patrick Stewart, and this is not personal presumption, shouldn't have influence on a project. Every time he does, it goes really badly. He's a great actor. And that's it. That's his talent right there. He should not be involved in the creative control side of things. And there are a lot of examples of that before you get to the recent Picard stuff. Point in case, you know who had the most influence at Star Trek Nemesis? Yes, he did meet Fist, which brings me to the point I was just mentioning. Stewart did direct a few times. Not very often, but a few times. He is a Shakespearean theatrical actor. He's one of these so-called classically trained. Yeah, Kevin Costner shouldn't be in front of a camera. And Stewart should stay in front of a camera. I mean, I understand the desire to stretch, and as I've said many times, just because you like something doesn't mean you're good at it, and vice versa. So I don't really begrudge him it. Not really. Could we not give the man 2 whole seasons of his own show to be in charge of it, though? Can we pull the reins back on that a little bit, please? Reasonability, right? Shatner's a funny one, because you'd think he had tons of influence in TOS. But no. I'm Ricky. Spool Swamp is my backyard. You go south from here, then around and back up. There it is. I go with you, but I can't do a thing. Do I have to... Those are my gloves. You brought them back. Thank you. But if you beat Blano, you must be tough. Lore? Cool. I'm Ricky. Nice to meet you. Take this flute. You got the flute. Yeah, even in Star Trek V, Shatner wasn't fully in control. Not nearly as much as he wanted to be. In fact, it's one of the biggest things he laments about Star Trek V in both of the memoirs about that film. And yes, I've read both of them. Nimoy was pretty influential back in TOS, by quite a margin. He was one of many people who was involved in making Trek into Trek, and he deserves credit for that. Nimoy could push and just generally get his way. And I don't know if that's because he had that kind of influence or just because he stonewalled. Because he would stonewall hard. Burton's good behind the camera. Don't mistake me, Burton's good in front of the camera, too. Frakes is another example of that. Jonathan Frakes is really good in front of or behind the camera. That's... Link's Awakening should be there at the very least, Lord Harriman. How do I get off this thing? There we go. Never mind. Question withdrawn. So hot, even sitting by my prized soothing pool doesn't help. I need something creepy to send chills down my spine. Okay. Dawson is actually a really good director. Like, legit. Oh my god, Meat Fist. I mean, you'd probably stay cool if a little humid. Insurrection's a good question, but if you want more details on what happened in Insurrection, you're gonna have to watch my video on it. A lot went wrong with that film. And no bed. No, you just go into the water. Ah. And if you slip between the waves, that's just a bonus at that point. So now we have Dash. Having said that, Sean, you know the only reason Insurrection is as good as it is? Because of Frakes. Is that too much? Damn. Oh well. That's okay. That's okay. That looks like a spring? Spring or fall? I forget which. You know, that's a good question, Ross. Who's worse? The sanctimonious assholes who went out of their way to condemn their own children to death and constantly preach about how superior they are to everyone else? Or the literal slavers? Now, the funny thing is, I'd still lean towards the Baku. Which is just really helps to emphasize how much those assholes piss me off. You want in the swamp? Well, actually, I lost the key to open the floodgates. How many of you had to look that up? I know, there's a switch right there. It's really obvious. I'm a moron. But I got stuck at this part of the game trying to figure out how to progress. I'm finally looking up, it's like, hit the switch. I'm like, what switch? Oh. Right. Yeah, I apparently do not have eyes. Whoops. I know I can make that. Yeah, I actually agree with you. Of all the things about this game that has stuck with me over the years, the soundtrack is pretty much at the top of the list. And that's not a dig. Words. Best part about Insurrection. Real talk. The romance between Riker and Troy. It's so good when we were doing the Trek lore run and going through that film. It was the only part that both of us agreed unanimously was just good. It was just the two actors basically acting off of each other. And Frakes and Sirtis have always had great chemistry together since the beginning. Hey, Zallad. Whoop. You know what's funny is I just realized this will be the third time of 3 that I have played these two games back to back. What do you want to bet I will continue to not be able to distinguish them in my memory? Just as Ahsoka predicted, the time has come when a new power of the seasons is needed. This means you must find a doorway to the Subrosian and go to the Temple of Seasons. Okay. Yeah, Troy and Worf was a random idea in the writer's room that never went anywhere. We're going to do a linked game, but we're doing seasons first, Allard. So we'll do... Ages will be our linked game. For the purposes of review, the third chapter will be considered for both games, though. I mean, obviously. I mean, Nintendo's remake strategy is weird. Grezzo's done some good stuff. So it's not like they couldn't, you know? Although, that's an interesting question. Can anyone check super quick? I haven't checked in a while. Is Grezzo working on anything right now that we know of? Hey, Roiting. Yeah, that's what I figured, Javis. That's a shame. Yeah, Nintendo and second-party Nintendo developers tend to be really, you know, close to the chest when it comes to what they're working on. Point in case, Prime 4. We do know they're working on Prime 4. We know they're working on it right now. That's about all we got. Okay. Do I prefer story in season or... So, story-wise, I can answer that right off the top of my head. Ages. 100%. The gameplay, though... So the reason I mentioned the dual game thing is I can never differentiate these two games in my brain. Hopefully this will be the time I will finally break that curse since I'm being analytical about it this time around, rather than just, you know, sitting and playing it. Yeah, Season's antagonist is the guy we've already seen about 50% of his total screen time. Like, seriously. He's already left the narrative for all intents and purposes. They actually specifically went out of their way to make him a lot more of a character in the manga in order to try and make up for that. Is this deep water? It is not deep water. Okay, that's good to know. I do kind of wish different parts of the overworld had different songs. I'm not going to begrudge at that, it would be nice. I mean, Paramount has a history of being so crap with their executive decisions that it predates my birth, Mr. Red. That's not even a joke. They are so terrible, and always have been. It's astonishing they still exist as a company. Thank you, Ricky. Oh, right. I forgot to even do the charge attack. There we go. Thank you for reminding me of basic functionality. So that's obviously the way down. What's over here? Death. Okay, good to know, good to know. Everything other than death over here. Or death. Okay, do we have anything other than death? Anything other than death? Nope. Okay, just death. Got it. And we're actually dead. Wow. Yeah, no, they're terrible. They've been terrible. If you ever want some light reading sometime, Mr. Ed, look up about how Paramount was split up into multiple companies. And then, like, oh god, I don't remember the full cycle. It was like they were split up, and then two of them merged, and then all of them merged, and then the merged company split up again, and they've actually relatively recently, just a few years ago, re-merged again. And none of that was, like, for any good reason. It was because of, okay, the company's dying and we've got to do something kind of reasons. If you ever wondered why Star Trek rights were all over the place for years, it's because originally it was all one company, and then it was two, or sorry, three, and then it was two, and then it was one. Frickin' Paramount. Although Paramount's not as bad as Warner Brothers, am I right? Rumors tell of precious red ore and blue ore. If you mix the two, you get unbelievably hard ore. It's a secret. It's called Hollywood accounting, Mr. Red. We have a professional term for it. Thank you very much. I will thank you to remember to keep yourself in proper... I can't even word. I can't even do it. I don't remember how much ore we need, but I know we need a bit, so we're going to get some really quick over here. Hollywood's accounting is hilarious, by the way. Oh man, this movie was a loss, man. Didn't you make like $3 billion? Oh, it was a huge loss. Well, let's see what we can buy here, shall we? What you got? Oh, we got a ribbon, which I think we need. How much is that? How much is that? Star-shaped ore. Well, okay, never mind. How much is this? 20 ore chunks and 10 ember seeds. Interesting. Yeah, we've got to get a ribbon for our girlfriend, Din, who's going to spend the entire game you know, being a damsel in distress and a non-character. Rosa, the pop star, has been seen around here a lot lately, and if you play FF4 regularly, this is a weird part of this game. Rosa's key can open any door, even the ones in the temple. Really? Yep, so let's get that star-shaped ore, because we need it. And I also, again, don't remember how much ore we need, but we need at least 20. No, FF4 predates this by 19 years, I want to say. Something like that. Yeah, this game came out in 2001. Which I know it's going to kind of show my age to call this a modern game. But this is more modern than some people probably think. Because, you know, it looks like this. Wait until you play Mina the Hollower, a game that's not even out yet. Which also looks like this. Rosa's mystical necklace opens locked doors. Celebrities get the best toys. Yeah, imagine if a celebrity just had a magical key. Just picture that for a minute. Can open whatever. You know, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, Link Between Worlds was only 3 games ago. That's a weird thought. My name's Rosa. My favorite ribbon floated out to sea. I wanted to explore the temple, but you can't go out like this. Well, I'm afraid you're just hideous without your ribbon. Proper accessorizing. D. Yeah, don't steal the key to everything that Taylor Swift has, everyone, okay? Just don't. You still keeping ahead of me, Cycloud? That's impressive given the pace at which I play games, so my hat's off to you. Granted, you probably know what you're doing, and I'm just making up as I go. We won't hit a game I actually know what I'm doing again until we get to Four Swords Adventures. Everybody's lost a ribbon. I'm looking for something else she'll like. Ever fine. Ever. We're getting plenty of ore. That's cool. How is that, anyways? The new ship Harkinian? I have no idea how to pronounce it. It's in the store, but I need the star-shaped ore, which means I need to dig up the star-shaped ore. That's not the star-shaped ore. Wish I could go on a date with Rosa just once, but how do I get her interested? How about don't be a creep and just say, hey, you want to go on a date? If it doesn't work out, that's okay, because that's what a date is. It's just trying stuff out. It's not complicated. God damn it. Just ask her out. Cutscene skips are nice. God, tell me about it, Deckfish. Alright, we're gonna go play on the beach. Alright, Mom, we've got an issue. What's the issue, honey? There's a fire monster. What? So I think I have currently combed the desert. Spaceballs reference. As in, hit every tile. So I'm guessing it's random. In fact, it's probably a dice roll each dig, if I were to guess. So this isn't great. This is just... I'm just going to keep digging up the entire beach. I feel like I'm playing Minecraft and I'm trying to get glass. Which I do every playthrough, because I like glass, damn it. I like my house to have windows. Isn't this mandatory to progress, or am I just completely off base here? Like, don't we need her ribbon? Okay. Just thought I'd try. I'll laugh if it's here, because it's the only screen I haven't done yet. Turn it like a dubstep. Whoop! Up, there it is. Okay. How are we doing on flame seeds? We do have 20. Perfect. Probably gonna regret this, but I really want that heart piece, so we're gonna do that. Yeah, it could be Cycloud. A real question here is, what does the task do? Oh, you know what? No, the task can manipulate RNG. What does the speedrun do? Oh, okay, fair, Cycloud. But I am curious now. What a cute ribbon. Is it for me? Oh, like, thank you. Since you're so nice, I'll go on a date with you. Let's go look at that temple. So, like, am I gonna get lucky tonight, or... I mean, not everyone puts out on first date. That's fine. No judgment. I just want to know, like, my expectations walking into this. This is a pretty hot date. But, like, without... Like, I can't go over this. Yeah, that's just gonna kill me. Okay. Oh, here we go. course, door still open, so now we have our first shortcut. Yay, shortcuts. Alright, to the temple. We could go to the dance floor, but I'd rather die. I should also probably go the right way. No, actually, you can get an infinite key in Zelda 1 and Zelda 2. Probably Cyclone. I'm really curious now. I know, right, Master Jedi Soda? It's like, we'll never get in, but, like, it's just a locked door. No, we'll never make it. Okay. One moment. Ow. Alright. And they're just... Mama? Mama, is that you? Oh, my pumpkin. You're alive. You've aged so much in the last 15 years. I know, Mama. I had to be strong and take care of little Billy without you. Oh my god, is little Billy... Little Billy's fine. How about Grandpa? Oh, hon. Grandpa's dead. It's been 15 years. Aha, spawns in one of 4 locations. There we go. Thank you, Cycloud. And RNG Manip. Give me your power. You've come, adorable hero. Even the spirits are crushing on us. I am the spirit of summer. In summer, vines grow tall, and creeks dry up. I don't know what this accent is. Remember that. Ancient Hyrulean legends say the hero destined to overthrow evil has a Triforce on his left hand. Because, I'm pretty sure Ocarina started that. Yeah. Perhaps you are this hero. Now I grant you the power of the spirit of summer. I mean, Breath of the Wild is permanently horny for Link. Like, going back through that was kind of crazy. How many women are crushing on Link constantly? And a few men. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Wait, what? Okay, that's what I thought. Well, this is a hell of a hot date, but, I think we should just be friends. I think it's not you, it's me. Okay, I'll call you. I admit I am curious what's going to happen, so just for the sake of it. Is this it? I don't know what this is. Okay. Aw. She called Kingdom Hearts overrated. You know, I hate that insult in general because it's actually kind of a non-insult. You know, not a lot of information is conveyed. But, like... of all the franchises, I don't think Kingdom Hearts even qualifies for overrated. Like, it's not exactly one of the biggest ones out there, you know? Let's see... I mean, most of the links are a catch. I'm not actually going to lie to you. That's true. StarCraft 2 is overrated. Oh, she didn't follow me in. Okay, whatever. Hey, you want to take a lava bath, hon? I'll pay for it. And then we leave her there. Okay, so now we have access to Summer. Well, if Savacom was watching this right now, she might admit that Link was one of her first crushes. Probably not the first, because we all know who that is. We all know my first crush. And my second crush doesn't exist! Okay, so she's got, ring. A seed ring, sure. Why not? That's a good point. He's not making tons of dough. Yeah. Beverly Crusher, TNG. Not even ashamed of that. Wait, that was the bomb upgrade? I can tell I'm paying attention. I just saw bombs, and I was like, I don't need bombs right now. But I absolutely want an upgrade. Give me that. Yep, I got that. What? What? Oh, I'm missing one bomb. I'm missing one bomb. I just... Oh, that's frustrating. Okay. I don't have an easy way to solve that either. That's really frustrating. Yeah, let's pray for some RNG. Let's just go for it. Let's abandon our date, like you do. Who? Oh, Kate Mulgrew, Sean. Took me a second. Bye, Rosa. Come on, bombs, 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 bombs. Give me bombs. I need bombs. Yes, hello, FBI. No, I'm looking for bombs. In a I'm playing Zelda. Oh, they're in town? Oh, thanks. Wait, but how did you know? Oh my god. Yeah, remember earlier when we couldn't get a heart drop to save our life? Literally, we were just sitting at low health. We, seem to be having a slightly different problem this time around. You have got to be kidding me. Not now, Maple. I thought about it, but I might also lose a bomb to her thanks to RNG, which is why I didn't go for that. I'm about to spend money on one bomb. That's my life. That's where we're at. Oh god, you're right, Blade Travel. I'm probably gonna find a bomb on the way back. Oh my god. Let's get these appraised while we're here. None of these are gonna be good. No damage from electricity. Whoops. No damage from Zora's fire. Cracked floors don't crumble. We'll do that no electricity one. It's the only one that we got that's actually worthwhile at all. We really want the damage up one, but I don't even remember how to get that, so we'll figure that out later. Here it is. I'm just feeling it. Bomb. Bomb. Okay, no bomb. I don't feel as bad. Slightly. Yes, it did, Anarcho Exist. Proving once and for all you don't listen to me. Yeah, this came out in 2001, Dream Whisperer. 3 weeks before the GBA came out. Wait, what? We're not actually that far in, because I've already gotten lost twice, because of course I am. Yes, I believe this is pretty much the exact same Link sprite as Link's Awakening. Don't quote me on that, though. I haven't compared the sprites side by side. And there can be some subtle differences in that kind of stuff. Speaking of someone who has actually worked with sprite work before. It's a real easy way to tell, though. But first, let's go get my upgrade. Yes, please. Nice. Now we get 30 bombs. That's actually really good. And then it's just a seed. Cool. Get a lot of asset reuse. Neither, actually, on Arkham Exist. I mean, could you imagine? I'd really screw with Majora's Mask, for example. Palette's actually a little bit different. But otherwise, yeah, no, that looks like the same sprite. Ugh. Well, there's actually a specific reason. And I don't remember the other reason, Baron, but the main reason is because this is the canonical order of the games. Plus, I figure... yes, it is Deckfish. Plus, I figure Seasons is probably not as good as Ages. So, you know the rule. I told you, Ross. You didn't believe me, did you? You didn't believe me. I'm almost hurt. Oh god, how do I load a state? Shoot, I don't remember how to load a state. Okay, I don't think we need to, because here we are, and we have our bombs. But hang on, now that we've got that, let's do a couple of save states. There we go. Okay. Save stating get. Let's head back down here, because I know I'm going to get a little bit lost, because I just have so many issues with this game's overworld. Where is it? It's up right. I absolutely do not, Anarcho-Marxist. But I get why you have it. I get your opinion. It makes a lot of sense. But, actually, I believe it can, Baron, but whether it does or not is kind of irrelevant, because we're not doing that until we get to ages. Asset reuse doesn't bother me, Anarcho-Marxist. What bothers me is whether or not you are smart about your asset reuse. And as long as they're smart about it, I'm cool with it. Whoa, that's the wrong button. The best part is it'll actually technically be more than 3 positives, Ross. Because the Dodonga will get his own positives. Yeah, Majora's Mask is a good example of using asset reuse pretty smartly. A lot of Mario games do that, too. And probably other games I just can't think of. Yeah, honestly, it's nothing short of shocking that Majora's Mask is a good game. But we'll get there in like a week or two. We've got plenty of games. We have to go through the entire 2D block before we even touch on Ocarina, I believe? No, we're actually doing Skyward first, then Ocarina. I think. I don't know, if you type exclamation mark next, you'll be able to tell the exact order. I can't remember, and I'm dead. You know, that's probably for the best. Just reset our health here. Look, I death warp unabashedly in LTTP. I don't know what the issue is here. Ricky. What got me to the Oracles? Well, I had a Game Boy Color. And I like Zelda games. That's pretty much all there is to that. Quick summary. The game sucks! Are you on phone, Anarcho-Marxist? Asking for a friend. Well, did you know that if you type in exclamation mark into the chat, just an exclamation mark, you'll actually get the full synopsis of the pluses and minuses so far. Link's Awakening got 120-something golden number, which is a very good score. As it deserves. Thank you very, very much, Baron, as always. And if you give me a moment, if it'll load. There we go. No, I believe you, Anarcho-Marxist. Ah, that's valid. The problem is I don't have a summary for you. That's why I didn't just answer immediately. I suppose level design is one of the bigger positives so far. And visuals is one of the better, one of the better things when it comes to the story axis so far. That's going towards Hitman 3. Yakuza Block 1. Or is it the Yakuza 1 block? It doesn't even matter. And the Kirby block. Thank you, Baron. There's a non-zero chance I'll end up giving an overworld negative, for reasons we've actually already discussed. So far, it's pretty much been what I expected so far. Gnarled Root is the first dungeon. Snake's Remains is the second dungeon. We're actually on our way to the third dungeon right now. Yeah, pretty much a noble name. That's why I try to put the level and the name of the level in the document. Level 1. Aldrich. Oh, ow. I do like how the map kind of goes off into the map in the background, like you can see over here. The trees keep going, you know. It's just a neat little thing. But you can't call yourself the lore runner, because the runner part of the equation means gameplay. So you have to call yourself just lore at that point. Or maybe lore reader? That's just pure lore, right? Or lore watcher, that works too. Oh yeah, I forgot I actually have the rewind feature in this game. Check it out. Not that the game gets credit for that. Now we have the power of the sun in the palm of my hand. So, level 3. Poison Moth's Lair. That sounds fun. Unfortunately, we will be doing that tomorrow. So I do hope to see at least some of you then.